Hi, this is James. Welcome along. As beginner backpackers, my wife and I, along with our Labrador Emma, went for our first wilderness backpacking trip this summer. We went for a 5-day trip in Finnish Lapland, sleeping in the tent that we took with us. As anyone with an interest in backpacking will know, the price of equipment can be staggering, and the decisions needed on what to take can be pretty complex. After spending months on research and a lot of money on gear, I thought that I would summarise what we bought for the trip and how it performed out there. In today's video, I'll go over some of the other gear that we bought for the trip. This is the rucksack that we picked up for me to use on the trip. It's the Tatonka Yukon X1 85 plus 10 litre rucksack. We already had one rucksack, which is a quite cheap, lightweight, around 70 litre rucksack, which my wife took, and I took this. This is a slightly heavier rucksack, but it's really stable, firm, and really supportive, which for me was super important. I spent the year before our trip recovering from a slipped disc, and the whole trip was something of a goal on the road to recovery. So for me, having something really stable on my back was very important. And this one is. It weighs in at 3.25 kilos. But it's a very big rucksack, and I needed it to be big because I carried all of the dog gear, which isn't necessarily so heavy but takes up some space. So let's have a look at the sack. And we can see on the waist there are these aluminium bars which add a really good deal of support. There's a very well padded section with lots of breathing zones so the air can circulate very well. The back is height adjustable, very easily height adjustable with a Velcro strap. It has good handles for picking up, regular chest strap, and comfortable shoulder pads. The waist I had to adjust to the smallest size since I'm a bit smaller than I used to be around the waist. For those slimmer than me, maybe it's an issue, I don't know. But it was fine with this really smallest level adjustment. There's several places where you can hook on carabiners, as you can see. You see more here on the other side. There's a few little loops here up the top of this section too. Yeah, it's good handles on the front to lift the whole sack. Nice spacious bottom section. Top section which you can actually access from either the top as normal, but you can also unhook the cover. And if I can find the zip here, and you can get in from the front as well, which we saw as a bonus when we bought it. I never actually used this on our trip. I was very organised with how I packed the bag and I never needed to dig into the bottom of this section when we were underway. When we got to camp, then I just unpacked the things that I needed as and when I needed them from the top, and that was fine. But in other situations it would be good, and it's fully rain protected. Otherwise there's a good extra storage on the outside which you can stuff in from the top here, and also clip closed with an adjustable strap. This was good for storing rain clothes and fishing equipment for me, and day's snacks and things to be easily accessible that I didn't put in the top of the rucksack. In the top, have a good expandable section, 2 drawstrings as standard. Inside there is a pouch for putting a hydration bladder, and also a Velcro strap for hanging the hydration bladder, which was really good. Plus a hose outlet to get the drinking straw hose, whatever it's called, through. So that's all good. In the top, there's a first aid zip section where we did keep our first aid kit. Keep it nice and available at all times. The top has loops for attaching straps, which we did use. We bought some straps to put the tent footprint up there, actually, since it was the first thing we needed when we got to camp. Has Reco rescue technology built in, so you can be found in an emergency. That's good. And a zip pocket up top. What it doesn't come with is a rain cover, probably because this material is actually pretty waterproof. I picked up a rain cover separately, which is here. This is quite a cheap one I picked up online. 80 to 100 litre generic rain cover. Mostly I wanted to protect anything in this outer pocket in case of heavy rain. I didn't want all the rain coming in here, and I didn't want to risk anything just in case. So yeah, I used that and that was fine. Anything else on the rucksack? The material is really rugged. No issues. It still looks great. Are these side pockets? Good for water or gear or whatever. They're pretty spacious. I actually use them for fishing rods. I had a spinning rod in one side and a fly rod in the other side, and occasionally packed some extra stuff down there as well. So that was good. I really like this rucksack, and if we were to consider again, we would maybe go for a similar make and model. If we do another trip in the near future, maybe we'll get another one in a slightly smaller size, because we like them a lot. I'll briefly go through the accessories that we got for the rucksack. These were the straps that I mentioned, just standard 1 meter Halti straps to put on the top with a standard adjustment here. They were fine. We picked up a pack of carabiners. I think there was maybe 20 in a pack. It was quite a lot and it was really cheap. They're Gimars carabiners. We used them all over the place on both of our rucksacks to attach things on the outside, whether it be our compasses, shoes, drinking cups, whatever else, dog accessories. And yep, they're really good until after the trip they started to lose spring, and yeah, the quality is not great, but they were cheap. I guess for longevity's sake I would buy something a bit better and only buy as many as I need, since these weren't even used, but they were good for that purpose and we had a lot of expense, so something cheap was needed. This was the rain cover. It comes with this clip which I attached inside the top of the rucksack that you saw. Has a elastic adjustable outer rim and just does the job. It fits over the rucksack and you can then adjust it to the right size. A little tricky to, get it to really adjust in the right places. As you tighten, it doesn't necessarily tighten all round, so it took a little while in the first couple of uses just to really stretch it around so that it had a tight fit around the rucksack, but worked well. The next item is compasses. We picked up 2 Suunto A-10 compasses. They're a very basic but good quality and good value compass. Have all the features that we need just to navigate effectively. No problems at all. The only strange thing with these is that they come with a strap and a quick release clip, which I had to go online to look up how to use. It looked weird, and I can't understand at all why you need a quick release clip on a compass. We didn't want to risk our compasses quick releasing themselves and us losing a compass, so instead we just tied the end of the strap together, put it on the compass, put it on a carabiner on the outside of the rucksack, and that was always going to stay with us, always be attached and not quick release itself by accident and leave us without a compass. We had 2, but if I was alone and just had 1 compass, then definitely you don't want to lose it. So these are our power banks. We bought 2 very similar power banks, mostly to compare them, and also so that we had one for the kids for our journeys and one for us as well. These 2 are very, very similar products, similar specifications. We have a Iniu one and a Veger one. They are both 20,000 mAh and both fast charging, 20 watt PD. Yeah, there's really not much between them. There's a slight size difference, a slight weight difference. I think the Iniu, as you can see, is a slightly bigger product. It's 365 grams. The Veger, I'm going to check, it's 302 grams, yes, and the properties of both, we tested them, how they charged up our electronics, and they performed very, very similarly. There was very little difference. You get a readout here of what percentage of battery is left. Both come with a cable with the standard USB connections. There's several inputs and outputs. You can charge at the same time a phone, and smartwatch was the other thing that we charged. The good thing with the Iniu, the bags are similar, but this has a closable drawstring, whereas the Veger just has a drawstring that won't stay closed. So that's a slight disadvantage, although with weight and size it's yeah, a little bit better. Otherwise they're similar products. We didn't need to take 2 with us. We did, and we didn't need them. All that we charged for the week was, as I mentioned, the smartwatch and our 2 phones. There was no phone reception anywhere on the trail, so we used our phones very little, put them into power saving mode and just used them for photos and the occasional video clip, and that was it. So a couple of charges of the phones maximum, and 3 charges maybe of the watch, and I don't know, I used maybe 80% of one of these. So that was enough for us. The final item in this video is a seat pad, and this is a Phoxx foam folding seat pad. It's around 1 centimetre thick. It insulates well enough against the ground. It's comfortable enough, super light, and the size is okay. I don't know much about other alternatives. This one was from XXL. Phoxx is their own brand. It was really an essential item to sit insulating yourself from the ground and being comfortable at camp, eating, having a break. They're a good product and fairly cheap, so I don't know if I can say too much more about that. Anyway, all the items that I've reviewed are as normal in the description below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.